I'm not nervous. I'm just not nervous. Are you nervous?
I'm going with positive thoughts, bringing a positive spirit, positive vibe.
Doug Jeffries is a luxury car salesman.
So the one with the big family?
His wife, Mary, is a high-end real estate broker. But they haven't paid their own mortgage in 2 years, and now they could lose it all. Today, they're headed to a meeting with the housing counselor who's working to save their home. Do you remember the day you moved in?
October 12th, 2002. It was rainy,
Oh, no.
cold.
Oh, no.
Just the messiest day.
That's terrible.
But it was sunshine in our hearts.
They lived in a 3,500 square foot, 4-bedroom home on a corner lot, complete with a 3-car garage for their BMWs.
This is the living room. I'm a girl from Newark, New Jersey. We grew up in a 1-bedroom apartment, and it was 4 girls and 1 boy. So I would always say, oh, I can't wait until I get grown. I'm going to buy the biggest house. I'm going to do this. The pool would probably have been back there, the deck, the pool, and the tennis court.
You don't know what the next person is doing. But I think there's some psychology in the African American community around spending that's connected with having felt less than and wanting to feel as good as.
Let's give God some praise.
The Jeffries are drowning in the kind of debt their pastor, Buster Soaries, preaches against just about every Sunday.
Live within your means. People that don't manage their money wisely are not managing our lives wisely. Live within your means. People that don't manage their money wisely are not managing our lives wisely.
Soaries is the senior pastor at First Baptist Church of Lincoln Gardens in central New Jersey, and he's on a crusade. He thinks Black America has a new enemy. Is debt a bigger problem than racism?
Yes, debt is a bigger problem than racism.
You didn't even hesitate.
There's no question to me that debt is a bigger problem than racism.
It's a provocative theory, but Soaries stands by his claim.
1 out of 5 of us has no bank account. We still do payday loans. We still do rent to own. But you see, we'll drive shiny cars and we'll wear designer clothes. And we have all of the appearances of doing well, but we won't admit that we're broke. Being in debt is slavery. When I'm paying last month's bills with next month's check, that's slavery. When I'm writing a check hoping that it doesn't bounce, or when I pull out my credit card praying that it's not rejected, that I'm living in financial bondage.
It's a problem exacerbated in today's economy, the worst since the Depression. Longtime church members Doug and Mary Jeffries feel like they're living in financial bondage. They've refinanced their home twice and are now on the verge of foreclosure. They've turned to their pastor for help.
One day, I just broke down. We were at a funeral at the church, and then Soaries in his inimitable style pulls up and, what's up, man? How you doing? And I said, Pastor, I ain't doing so well today. He said, well, what's going on? And that's when I just, had to tell him what the deal was.
Douglas kind of convinced me that he was going to ask anyway, and I said, well, okay, but I was reluctant.
Was it embarrassing?
Oh, yeah, quite.
Why help Doug and Mary Jeffries? Super nice people. In a way, they make enough money they could just move to another place.
You can't assume that a person who's middle income and has problems is less impacted by their problems than a person who's lower income that has problems.
After 25 years working his way up the ladder at a large insurance brokerage firm, Carl Fields was let go. It was 4 days before his 58th birthday.
I must tell you, there were a number of grown people who, when I told them what had happened to me, literally stood there crying. And I said to every one of them, don't cry for me. Rejoice for what God is about to do. And that's what keeps me going.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
Keeps him going still.
Even now in the midst of this storm, Lord. Amen. Amen.
My day starts with prayer and meditation. Very seldom do I miss that.
Oh, boy.
Has your faith diminished at all?
No.
Not one moment where you said...
It was not a question to God about why did you let this happen to me. Never. I've never questioned him. The most difficult thing is watching my wife get up every morning and go to work, and I'm still in the bed. There is something horribly wrong with the fact that she gets up to go to provide for this family, and I'm not able to do that. You feel less than a man because I'm not doing what a man should do.
I try to build him up as much as I can. I do everything and anything that I can do to make him know that he is the head of this house and he is my man.
They describe their marriage as wedded bliss, despite many challenges, including this current one.
What's the stress on the relationship?
Not being able to pay all the bills exactly like we'd like to.
Their regular monthly expenses are roughly $6,000. With his unemployment benefits and her salary as an administrative assistant, they're about $2,000 short each month.
What do you pay and what do you not pay?
The first thing is our tithes.
You pay the tithes first?
Oh, yes, always.
Don't you think the church would understand if you said, listen?
It's not the church. God gives us 100%. We can give back 10.
We teach people to tithe with 10%, save 10%, and invest 10%. And so, in effect, we're living below our means.
The Fields still try to follow that model and save, but it's very difficult. Every day, Carl goes to the library to search for a job.
It's a full day.
He fills out applications, then tries to camouflage his age.
Some of these online applications, you cannot complete the application without indicating your date of birth. It gives the employer an opportunity to weed you out. 59 years of age, what do they realistically think in terms of my longevity with the company at this point?
He also masks his experience.
I've also taken out in my resume, my title is vice president. And the reason I've done that is because once they see that, they will immediately say overqualified.
Today, he applies for 3 jobs.
I'm going to print both of these out, because I save those. Those become part of my job application pile that I have.
Account executive, insurance broker, client manager, commercial segment, commercial lines account manager. How many would you guess this is?
I know I've put in over 300 job applications.
Hundreds of applications.
Good morning. How are you? Thank you very much.
Hours of networking, nearly a dozen job fairs.
What are you looking for today?
The best job you have.
You got it.
And just 3 telephone interviews.
You must be looking for qualified people.
Unemployment for blacks is nearly double that of whites, even among college graduates.
Oh, I see. I see.
The college-educated black population is still predominantly in government jobs, in which you've seen a lot of cutbacks. They're predominantly in the retail sector, and they're in parts of the corporate sector that are the first to go. They're not the dynamic and growing parts of the economy.
You think you're going to get a job?
I know I'm going to get a job. I know that I'm going to get a job. How do you know that? I feel that I'm going to get a job. I just feel it in my bone, in my spirit, that I'm going to get a job.
Hello. Welcome to our Lunch and Learn today, put on by dfree. We are doing a special lunch and learn, all things $1 billion challenge. So today, any questions you may have about $1 billion challenge, how to get started, lots of tips, lots of information. We're going to cover it all for you today so that you can learn everything you need to learn about the $1 billion challenge. So I welcome you. A couple housekeeping things. This is a closed session, so there is not an opportunity for questions during this time, but we'll have an opportunity at the end to share how you can ask questions and get in touch with the team. So we just want to make sure we go through. We have a lot of jam-packed information today to get you all started on the $1 billion challenge. First, I want to bring greetings from our founder and CEO, Dr. DeForest B. Soares Jr., and our executive director, Tamika Stembridge Esquire. They lead the dfree movement nationally and globally, and we're so blessed to be on a team with them, working with them, and under their leadership. We'll go into a little bit more detail about some of dfree, but I am Janiyah Lake. I am the Director of Training and Engagement. I have with us today Catherine Taylor and Shonda Sutton. We work on the training and engagement team, helping all people activate anything dfree $1 billion challenge, whether you're an individual, a church, a community organization, or a large initiative. We are kind of where the rubber hits the road, and we help you do anything that you want to do and accomplish the goals utilizing dfree $1 billion challenge and all of our tools and programming. So we'll just jump in and get started. Here's the things we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about what is the $1 billion challenge. We'll briefly cover a little bit about dfree, but today is all things $1 billion challenge. We're going to talk about how you join. I'm actually going to give you tutorials and show you screens. I'm going to answer questions that people frequently ask us. We're going to talk about starting and leading a group. Additionally, tutorials and show you things that you need to do to get started, as well as tips and best practices. We'll cover some tools and functions of BDC at the end, and then I'm going to share some frequently asked questions. So these are the things that are burning on people's minds when they want to get started with $1 billion challenge, and a lot of times call us or shoot us emails. So I'm going to try to make sure I answer all of those for you guys at the frequently asked questions. But we'll just get started. So the $1 billion challenge is actually a tool of the dfree program. So if you haven't heard about the dfree program, this is just a little bit of information. Contact us at the end if you have more questions about dfree. But if you're familiar with dfree, it was created in 2005 by Dr. Soares. And, his book and workbook are the foundation of the dfree movement. It's the 12 steps that we go through to get financially free and start to build wealth. The movement, and if you will, is kind of catapulted with the $1 billion challenge, and we'll cover all of that today. But the basis for everything is the guiding principles of the dfree program. Dr. Soares has created dfree to be a transformational movement so that we challenge our culture of being a consuming kind of culture that purchases, lives in debt, and we shift ourselves to values-based principles and practical approaches to managing our finances. dfree works, our team works very hard to help individuals, families, churches, and communities improve their financial status so that we can address some of the things that plague us, if you will, around our finances. And so I say this is a little bit more than a financial education or financial program. You can Google financial literacy. We can find budget sheets. We can find all of the things that we need to find. But we know that we're still not changing our behaviors. So dfree addresses the spiritual, psychological, and the behavioral root causes of some of the things that plague us in our financial life. And so that's where I feel the transformation happens, so that we can address the things that are actually wrong and then showing up in our money. And so it'll reground you in those principles so that you can then move forward and make changes in how you're dealing with your money. dfree is a movement, so it's thriving, it's growing. I'm going to share some stats with you in a little bit. You'll see some of the accomplishments we've made with $1 billion challenge, but we are determined people that we're going to overcome this culture of debt. And so we're going to get out of delinquencies, deficits, and really attain financial freedom. And so that's the goal of dfree. We have lots of programming that we can do to help you get started. If you're interested in any dfree information, again, I'll have our contact at the end. We help organizations, churches, everyone lead these kind of movements across the country. So let's jump into $1 Billion Challenge. So $1 Billion Challenge also was created by Dr. Soares. It is the campaign. It is the, when people ask us, how can I get started immediately? What are things that I can do? It is the way that we're all meeting together to join the challenge. So the $1 Billion Challenge was created by Dr. Soares, and it's a continuum of the civil rights mission of financial wellness and empowerment that Martin Luther King spoke of in the civil rights time. If you're familiar with Dr. Soares, you know he has worked his lifetime in civil rights, the civil rights movement at the time, working with Jesse Jackson, Operation Push, and he continues that work today, really pushing to deal with the financial wellness and empowerment of our communities. And so if you think about I always talk about that we have lots of stats we can access about how our communities and African Americans are doing in financial wellness. And we know we're kind of at the bad point of all stats. And so one of the things $1 Billion Challenge is it allows us to come and really celebrate success and start changing those conversations. And so we want to empower people to meet us at the $1 Billion Challenge to where we're paying down our debt, we're making savings plans, we're starting thinking of things we can move those monies to, and really be in a positive space around how we're dealing with our finances and opportunities to grow. So it's an economic situation that people are improved now, so we want to give them options. The $1 Billion Challenge allows us to meet in a digital space and celebrate paying down consumer debt. So this is our homepage here, and I want to just point out one of the first things that's very exciting is to date, we've paid over $23 million worth of debt together. And so this is where we've joined the challenge. It's kind of designed like a weight loss challenge or challenges where you can get together with your community and see your impact in a larger way. It's a free interactive tool, so individuals join. They can participate in groups. I'll cover that in a little bit. But it's where we're really focused on taking charge of our money and paying down our consumer debt. And then building those emergency savings plans. We know those are the first two things that we need to address in order to move ourselves along to wealth building. The goal of the $1 Billion Challenge, we want to educate, we want to inspire, we want to enable participants to come together and pay down debt. We have a goal of $1 billion altogether. It's free. It's a national campaign, and the $23 million you see is all of the folks that are participating and joining together. This is the impact that we've made. So it's very exciting. I'm going to go ahead and jump into how you get started, because the goal is that we want, if you're watching this video, you want to get started on the $1 Billion Challenge. I don't think there's anybody that I've met that doesn't have debt or payments or things that they want to manage and pay down. And this tool allows you to do that, as well as building a savings plan and starting with things you're saving for. So I'll go through each of these in a little bit of detail. But how do you get started? So if you go to billiondollarpaydown.com, that's our website. That's where you'll see this great $23 million number and where you can take advantage of all of the tools and everything we have on here. To the right, there's a green Join Now button. You simply click the button and you'll create a profile. And so when you get started, and this is what your kind of first screen will look like, actually, you'll create your profile. But I wanted to point out there's tutorials that will help you walk through everything. So if you see here, this is Welcome to the $1 Billion Challenge. You can click this that you want to close it, but you can say yes. And what it will do is it'll walk you through some of the key functions of the site. I encourage everyone, as you kind of join in, there's a lot of great information. Go ahead and take the tutorial at least the first time you go in, and it'll get you started. But you'll build your profile. So when you join, you'll create a sign-on, you'll use an email, you will put in a little bit of information. I point out this screen for a couple reasons. One of our most asked questions is, what is the information that you collect from me? How secure is the site? What is it that's going to be on, on this profile or on this website? And so I wanted to show you, this is what an actual profile looks like. Up above, this is the scroll down to kind of some of the information that's pertinent, but up above is your name. You'll put in your name of what you want your profile name to be. You'll put in the email address that you want to use. And then you'll put in your phone number, zip code, age range, annual income range, and then the types of debt that you have. None of this information is your social security number. None of this is account numbers. None of this is an app that's like a mint.com or anything that will attach to any of your bank accounts. So you do not have to worry that you would be putting in identifying information or things that will give any information to either your credit file or your current debt or your bank accounts or anything like that. So this is the information that's on your profile. It allows us to know our audience that's using the $1 Billion Challenge so that we can continually design tips, tools, and meet the needs of the folks that are using it. So there is not any personal information. And then once you build your profile, this is what your dashboard looks like. So just a couple things I'll point out on your dashboard. To the left, if you see the edit profile, my J Lake, the view edit profile log out, that's how you would get back to that page that I just shown prior to the slide. That page will allow you, if you ever need to change your password, if you ever need to update maybe the state that you live in or the zip code that you're in, anything like that. So you can go in and edit your profile as well as put a picture, anything that you want to personalize your profile. All of that, you can go back and edit those. If you see the top arrow here, we have total debt reduced, total saved. This is your dashboard, and this will update as you log your payments and as you log deposits into your savings plan. Again, the site is totally secure and it does not link to anything. So I do want to point out, someone asked one time, we don't collect the money and pay any of your debts for you. You will use this site simply as a tool, much like if you think logging all your debts into like a notebook. I know this might sound a little bit antiquated. I still do notebooks. So logging all of your debts into a notebook so that you have a good picture of what your debts look like. We know that you can't work a plan if you don't start to make a plan. And so this tool allows you to actually make a plan, have a snapshot of the debts that you have, and then really identify areas that you can either make extra payments or make a plan to pay off by a certain date. So you will log in your payments, you will log in your deposits that you make here. Our site will not make those for you. If you look at the bottom, you'll see your debt listed and your savings listed. Right now, there's no data in here. Along the bottom, it's not scrolled down, but you will have a list of your upcoming payments and your recent payments as you work your plan. So this will give you a total snapshot of what you put in here so that you can see it right on your dashboard, right on your screen, and then the success as you move along. This is what a debt screen looks like. So from this previous screen, you can click on this, the no data yet, and the let's add some goals. You can click right on there. To the top right, you see add a new goal. You can do those a couple ways, and then this is what your debt screen will look like. I show this again because I want to point out again, one of the most asked questions is the info that's collected. So I want to make sure you see the info that's collected prior to going into the site. So you put in your debt plan. This would be like your visas, this would be your car loans, you may put your mortgage in here, but this would be debts that you are intending to pay off or that you want to have a plan to pay off. Your student loans may go in here. So you'll simply fill out the fields. You create a record name, it may be Visa, MasterCard, it may be Chase Visa, you know, whatever it is you want to create the debt record name, you put that in there. You'll put your amount, you'll put your rate, what's the debt, it's a of debt for you, select one, you put your rate and then the type of interest. The reason that information is important is because it will allow you to use the calculator tool. And the calculator tool allows you to either choose a date that you want to pay off or choose to pay a certain amount, and then that will give you the date. And I'll go into that just a little bit of detail. One of the best practices that we suggest is gather your statements, gather your bills, gather the things that you want to input in here prior to coming and setting up your debt plans. That way you have everything right in front of you. I know someone said one time they went in to create, but then they didn't know what their rates were and they didn't know what their current balances were, so they had to actually go back, go get all that and come back and do it. So gather those things before you get started, then you'll be able to log them in all at one time. The calculator function, what that does for you is two things. It allows you to either choose a date that you want to pay it off. So if you put a date in, say I have a goal, I want to pay this credit card off in 6 months. I will put the date in there for 6 months, and based on the rate and based on the balance that I have, it will tell me how much I need to pay each month in order to accomplish that goal. That's one way you can use the calculator. The other way is if you don't know the date, but maybe you identify an additional amount that you're going to put towards this to accelerate paying it off. So we know if we pay our minimum payments on our credit cards, that it would take so much longer, we'd pay so much interest, and it would just continue on kind of the cycle of debt. So we want to take an opportunity to identify if we have a little additional money. When you go through the dfree program, we identify spending leaks. It may be something as simple as your coffee each day. If you decide I'm going to take that same $25 a week and apply it to paying off my credit card, you may then increase your minimum payment. So if your minimum payment was $50, maybe you now put your payment at $75 each month. It will let you know the date and calculate the date of your payoff. That helps you really work your plans, because as you're building out your plans, we encourage people when you're going through dfree to use the snowball or the avalanche method, meaning once you've paid those things off, you would then be moving that additional money and that payment to your next item that you want to pay off. So then that accelerates and gives you momentum as you're working your plan and paying off your debt. So that's creating a debt plan. You would do this for everyone. Once you create, you can continue and go in and put in another debt and another debt and another debt, and then create your plan for those. And then you go to a savings plan. So we encourage everyone too to consider what their savings situation looks like as they're also working down their debt. And beginning savings is an emergency savings. Statistically, an individual is considered financially vulnerable if they do not have $500 to $1,000 in an emergency savings. And the reason that is the case is life situation happens and it can cause you to have to make a decision to go back in debt. And that could be tires, that could be hot water heaters, that could be anything. But if you don't have something put away for an emergency, that so you don't have to go back in debt if any one of those things happen, then you would be considered financially vulnerable. And so we want to encourage people to also begin to start to build your savings plan. And so your savings is a habit. We encourage people that even as you're identifying your coffee and you take some of that and maybe half goes to your debt pay down plan, you also may want to consider half going to building that emergency savings. Build that habit of having a savings deposit on a regular basis so that you can start to build for that emergency fund so that you don't have to go back in debt as any life situation happens. Additionally, you can make more than one savings option or savings plan in here. We had someone ask, can I create my emergency savings that I want to build, but I also want to do a vacation fund, or I also want to do like my Christmas money in here too. So they use the savings plan for those, and then they may have deposits or, one paycheck goes towards one savings plan, one paycheck, deposit goes towards the next savings plan. So it's a great way to use it. Additionally, we encourage people, if you're identifying with your debt, sometimes we have bills that we also have happen once a year or twice a year, and maybe we want to consider building a savings for those instead of paying that debt at one time. So an example would be your car insurance. If you pay your premium every 6 months, you may want to consider a savings plan for your premium so that you save, 1/6 of that every month, so that at the time that your insurance premium is due, you've already saved the money. Same thing with property taxes, anything that would be, an annual payment or, biannual payment. This is a great way to save for those as well so that you can plan for those payments. So again, once you have your debts and your savings loaded, they will be on this dashboard here. You'll see them listed, and then you'll see as you log your payments and log your savings activity that your total at the top will be updated. One of the best practices that was shared with us is the bottom, the upcoming payments and the recent payments. Once you put your due dates in there, or you put when you work your plan, these will populate for you as well. So as you log your payments to the right, you'll see your recent payments in there. So you'll know that you've logged those or if you've missed anything. The upcoming payments will be a reminder as far as any plans that you've laid out in your debts and your savings. They do turn red when they go past due. So we had someone say that was so helpful for her when she was on her dashboard. She could see right at the bottom any payment she may have forgotten to log, or if she didn't, work her plan, it shows up right there in upcoming payments right on your dashboard. So that is how you get started. A lot of times people then want to join a group. So once you build your individual profiles, you have the opportunity to either join or start a group. I can point out here, this is where a lot of times two people have angst. What of my individual information? If I join a group, what's going to happen? Is everybody going to see my business? They're going to know how much I'm in debt. Do they know how much I'm paying? All of that. So we can just say, before you even join a group, you don't have to worry about any of that. Your individual plan is individual to you. It is not shared with anybody when you join a group. Your payments, your debt load, what your business looks like, that is not shared with your group when you join a group. So that's like my two number one questions, the confidentiality, and then who's going to see my business if I'm part of this group. So you don't have to worry about that. The only thing that totals in the group is what you log as working your plan, and you will see it as the total summary. So you'll see the impact by the whole group. You will not see your individual plan. So for example, if Shonda and I are in this group together, I will not be able to see Shonda's debt load, but I also will not be able to see Shonda's payment. So I don't have to worry of whatever our goal is looking like. You're only going to know how much I paid, or you're going to know how much I'm not working my plan, or how much I am. You don't have to worry about any of that. We'll just all be in the summary together. So we encourage you to join a group or start a group. So a group management at the top, this is where you join or start. When you click that group management button, you'll have two green buttons that pop up. One says start a group, one says join a group. If your group already exists, if you know they exist, and you just like to join, whether it's your church, whether it's your Delta chapter, whether it's your employee networking group, you click the join button, start to type their name in the search field, and a drop down will come and you'll be able to find your group and join it. If you're starting a group, you'll click the start green button and it'll actually walk you through a few key information for your profile. So if you see here, I have named our group, the Test Chapter by Janiyah. I've chosen if we are a sorority or fraternity. I've chosen where we are, and then you get to write a little description. We do encourage you to choose a name that's something that would be found by members, or something that you share with your group so that they know what the group looks like or what the group name is to join, as well as a picture. And so then you can put a logo, you can put a picture of your group, you can put anything that you want in here so that people can identify your group. Couple things about groups, you can only be part of one group at a time. So if you start a group or join a group, that is the group that you belong to. You would have to leave that group to join another group. And if you leave that group and join another group, your impact of whatever you were in a group actually goes with you. So whatever your debt payments, that will move to your new group. So that's a question that we get asked a lot, as well as what kind of groups can I start? You can start any kind of group. So we have large national initiatives that have multiple chapters underneath, and I'll cover those in a little bit. We have area initiatives. So we have a person leading dfree and $1 Billion Challenge in Ohio. And so she has kind of a whole Ohio group with multiple different groups underneath, as well as we have families who started, a family group or girlfriends group. We have some VIP millionaire groups in Detroit. Well, we have some book club groups. So you can determine the group. If there's not a group that's set up that you want to join now, you can start any kind of group and get folks to join. We want this to be fun and encouraging, and a way that people can get started and join together and see an impact that they're making together. Let's go down. This is your dashboard. So what you see on here is kind of the dashboard for the group, if you will, much like the dashboard for your individual profile. You'll see debt goals, savings goals. I'll go through a little bit of admin function, but if I'm an individual and this is my group, I can see the members that are to the right. I can see our total impact to our goal. So we would have a percentage to our overall group goal. We would have a percentage to our overall savings goal. Again, you just see total. You don't see any individual totals to that group or to that summary. You don't see any individual plans to that summary. This would be goals that you would set for the whole group. And then this is additionally what you'll see if you just scroll down on the dashboard. So you'll see the members to the right. You'll see at the bottom there's an opportunity for engagement with the group as well. And let me go through that just a little bit. So if you scroll down to the bottom, there's a comment and an announce section. This allows the members to engage with each other, and this allows the leadership to have some activity with the group. And so the difference between the two, if you see an announcement is in a banner. It goes green, it goes across the wall, if you will, of the group, and it posts there as an announcement. This is a great thing to use to celebrate success, to announce if you have any dfree classes coming up and you want people to join. If you have any milestones that you've made, such as membership numbers or percentage of your overall goal, this is a great way to make announcements there for the overall good of the group. And then if you see comment acts much like a Facebook, I guess. You can make a comment, you can ask a question, someone can then continue on your thread and answer your comment. So if you see, I put what's the difference in a comment, someone could go into the comment there and answer the difference between an announcement and the context, and answer it. So then it will build upon each other and be on the wall. It's a great place to ask questions that are good for the overall of the group, as well as recognize and allow people to celebrate success or anything like that, the accomplishments your group is making. So then that transitions, that's how you would join a group. Those are the things you would see on the dashboard. If you join a group, those are the things you can participate in, being part of a group. One last thing about a group can have a subchapter as well. So if you are a church, so for example, First Baptist Church of Lincoln Garden, they may have the group, which is like the parent group, and then you could have subgroups underneath that maybe have their own plans, their own initiatives, their own things that they're working on. So much like the ministries. There's a dfree ministry, there's a senior ministry, there's a marriage ministry. All of them could create a subgroup that would operate just the same under the parent group. They would have their own admins, they would have their own information, but it would just all roll to the total parent group of First Baptist Church of Lincoln Garden. So groups and subgroups, if you're an admin to the overall parent group, you would be an admin to the subgroup. But if you are an admin to the subgroup, you only manage your subgroup. So that's a great way to break out groups and subgroups. Sometimes we've had some great fun competitions. Deltas are by chapter. They lead the charge in competition and encouraging each other through some fun ways, but they are considered kind of a subgroup of the larger Delta group. If you are managing a group, so if you are an admin, if you see to the right there, Janiyah, Catherine, you see the little green admin, you have a little bit of a different function when you are managing a group. So in the green bar, you will see join requests. If you are an admin of a group, you will approve join requests. So as people find your group and want to join, it would show 3 join requests, 5 join requests. As an admin, you could click that button and go in and approve the folks that are requesting to join your group. You can, as an admin, you can have other people be admins with you. Depending on the size of your group, we encourage you to have 3 to 5 admins. At minimum 2 to 3, depending on the size. And so the admin functions can be shared by all admins. That would allow, if the admin needed to leave and you needed to replace an admin, that there would not be any scenario of there not being someone to manage the group. And then you see at the bottom, there's a manage all members, little green, and there's a hyperlink, and you can click that. So if you are an admin, there are some other things that you can do that manages the group. So if you click that button, this is what your members look like. They show up in a whole listing that you can see in the group, as well as your subgroup. The top, you can search members, look for members. But if you look to where the arrows are, there's a little 3 green dots. Those are the 3 black dots. Those 3 black dots allow you to either remove a member or send your group admin request. So if you are an admin and you want to add some additional admins, this is where you do that at. Once you send them an admin request, they accept it, they get their email that they log their $1 billion challenge with, but they do need to be part of the group before you can make them an admin. So we encourage everybody to join the group ahead of time, and then you'll go in and set up your admin. The other things that you can do on this page is if you scroll to the bottom, there's a send invitations and send email to all members. You can invite people to join your group. So if you know their email address, you can send it to them there. We did have a question one time saying, I got an invite to an email address I don't want to use. Do I have to use that one? No, you don't. This is just alerting people of your group name, and inviting them to join you. Anybody that's an individual, feel free to use whatever email they would like to manage their $1 billion challenge with, and then they can go find the group and join the group. But as an admin, you can send your invites out here. You can send emails to all the members too. So if you have any announcements that you also want to additionally do an email to the members, you can type that right in here, and it'll just send an email to all of the emails or all of the members in your group. And then we go back to the dashboard. So if you are managing a group, we encourage you to celebrate, encourage, and engage your group. One of the best practices that we've learned from some of our most successful $1 billion challenge users is when they really activate and use and engage with their folks that are in their group. So they may have milestones that they want to set and reach. They may have membership milestones that they want to continue on. They just may have things that they want to do. But we encourage you, as you're leading others, to really celebrate the success of your group, small and large. Really encourage the people to work their plans. And I'll share with you just a little bit how you can utilize the site to help them do that, as well as engage with them as your folks that are leading or joining your group and looking to your leadership. So if we look at some of the tools and the functions in the site, and some of these are helpful for you to know if you're managing a group as well, so that you can answer questions. Individuals always use these, as well as ways that you can encourage and keep your membership going. So if you look to the left, there's a tip of the week there that helps people to kind of stay the course, work their plan, or maybe think of things that they haven't thought about as they're looking at their debt load or their savings plan. So you can share a tip of the week, maybe in the group, encourage folks to use the tip of the week, as well as the tutorial. The tutorial walks them through a lot of site functions. So if you see all the different topics here, you can click on any one of these, and you will see screenshots and functionality as you go through the site. So we encourage people to take those tutorials, or those leading groups. You can utilize these tutorials to help answer questions for people. As well as there's a lot of other stuff on the $1 Billion Challenge site. So when you go to the home page, you scroll down, there's lots of tools and tips, there's lots of information, articles we'll post on $1 Billion Challenge, some dfree tips as well from our 12-step program, lots of information, digital offerings. So we encourage you to take a look around the site. Even if you're just going in and logging debts and payments, there's lots of new information that gets posted here to help you kind of on your journey as you're paying down your debt or staying encouraged. So click on any one of these, or click around the site. If you're leading groups, it's a great thing to draw your membership's attention to, have them take a look at, or post on the wall of your group as well. So I'm going to take a little moment here to go back to the 23 million that we're super excited about, and just have a little bit of recognition of what this looks like in the $1 Billion Challenge world right now. And so we have special recognition to our Greek organizations, Delta Sigma Thetas, leading the charge with almost 200 chapters, and they've paid down over $5 million worth of debt. We've just brought on the Atlantic region of Zeta Phi Beta. We have some New Jersey AKA chapters that are getting started, And we're just very excited to see this growth and to see how we're doing with this $23 million. We additionally want to recognize we have Prudential employee networking groups. We just are launching nationally an initiative with our NARAB chapters across the country. We have over 100 church leaders that are leading $1 billion challenge groups around the country, whether that's just for their church or whether that's initiatives that they're doing within their cities or states or their denominations even, as well as, this is comprised of 10,000 individual members. So we've had such significant growth in 2019. We're positioned for even larger growth, but we want to celebrate the people that have contributed to this $23 million to this point, and we're on our way to meet $1 billion. So I encourage you all to join us together as we pay off debt. I want to take a moment here to just make sure I cover some frequently asked questions. We did everything from joining individually, creating a group, leading a group, some activities to get you started. But a lot of questions that we get is around the confidentiality, the information that is requested. So I hope I was able to show the screen and answer that for you so that you can see and not have any angst about joining the $1 billion challenge or any information that's in there. One of the things people typically ask is how often do I log on or when should I go in? You can log in as much as you'd like, but we do say you should at least log in when you're making your bill payment and go in and work your plan and log your plan to ensure that you're on track with the things that you've set up in $1 billion challenge. So log your payments in here. Whenever you make a payment to any of your debts that are on your plan or deposit into your savings, go in and log those in there, because then that contributes to your dashboard growth. If you're part of a group or part of a challenge, then it contributes to that summary total as well. If you are an administrator, how much can I see? Again, I walked you through all of the things that you can see. You do not have to worry about that. You can find out anybody in your group, what their actually debt load is or what they're doing. So it's really a great tool that we can see impact. It's a great tool that we can see success. It's a great tool that we focus on paying down that debt so we can move those monies towards building savings, insurance, investments, wealth creation, home ownership, owning property, all of those positive aspects that we can see that $23 million or when we move $1 billion down a consumer debt towards wealth creation. People have asked, what if I'm not in debt? Can I use $1 billion challenge? Absolutely. We encourage you, if you're not in debt, people may need to consider what their savings look like. Sometimes we have people that are not in debt and they're really disciplined, but they may need to really look at what their emergency savings look like, if they have that built up so that they wouldn't have to go back in debt. Additionally, we encourage you, if you're not in debt, to consider, if you're not part of a group, leading one. This is something that we want to celebrate those that maybe have those good practices and good activities that they've done to join us in dfree and $1 billion challenge as a leader and continue and spread that with us. Continue to give back as our level 4 of dfree is, to where we want to infuse our communities, our families, our churches with really joining this and making a change. Personal information, how do I access? The $1billionpaydown.com is how people join. But really those most frequently asked questions tend to be around group administration. It tends to be around confidentiality. It also tends to be just around how do I use it and if it attaches to anything. So I want to encourage you all again to feel safe and confident that you can use this and it's not anything that you have to share any information with. If there's some questions that you have, if you have ideas, if you'd like to learn more about dfree, if you want to get started, join us in any of these places. So mydfree.org is our website. It's the hub of all things dfree. You'll learn about our live events, initiatives that we're doing, some of our digital offerings, lots of tools and resources, as well as the $1billionpaydown.com is the site we've covered today. So that's where you go. Please go, create a profile, join a group, start a group, But any way that we can help in any of the above, whether you want to start dfree, classes, any specific initiatives, or learn more about anything that I mentioned today, contact us at the engagement email at mydfree.org. You can contact us by phone as well. And then follow us on social media. We do look for testimonies and the space we're creating in community of where we're encouraging people to really shift how we're participating in our finances. And so we love to see testimonies. We love to see how your groups are doing. We love to celebrate your success with you as well as share within the larger community any success, best practices, or anything that we can support you in. So reach out to us if you have any questions. And I look forward to seeing our $23 million just go up and up and up to $1 billion. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
You don't want to spend no money. I don't think being cheap is necessarily a bad thing, though.
You're not willing to spend money that you do have.
Not spending money, pretty much. Yeah. My last dime, food.
A flight or a ride home.
Probably $100.
Yeah. It's around 120, yeah. If I'm going out that week, yeah, add that 60 in there.
I think about it, and then I decide, like, yeah, I'm about to spend it.
I think about it, and then I spend it. Welcome to this episode of the Black Money series, bringing you everything lifestyle, everything millennial, everything dfree.
Today we're going to be talking about balling on a budget and how you can live that lavish lifestyle without going broke.
What does it actually mean to ball on a budget? 1, act your wage and live accordingly. 2, spend within your means and follow your allotted budget. And 3, to live a fabulous life while doing so. How do we do that? Well, first, let's play a game of myth and truth to see what you actually know.
Budgeting is designed to prevent you from spending. That's a myth. Budgeting isn't designed to keep you from living your life. It's designed to help you to get out of the lifestyle of living paycheck to paycheck. So it helps you add a little extra coin to whatever you're trying to do during the week or whatever you want to do during the month.
You can spend over your budget. Very true. I mean, don't go buying the latest versions of Yeezys if you know you can afford them. You know you have to set out what you want to spend each month and stick to it.
I can keep a budget in my head. That's a myth. Let's stop right there. You can't do that. You shouldn't do that, and it's not a good idea.
I tried it.
You could try again, but you should never try that to begin with. You keep a budget in your head. I don't care if you think that you can do it or you can do the most in the world. You can't do that. It'll help you spend more money than you're trying to actually save. So you might as well just take your budget and write it down.
Budgeting requires like super hard math. No.
Budgeting is for everybody. Truth. A lot of people think that once you become a billionaire, millionaire, or you make a certain amount of money, that's just freedom to go crazy and spend all your money. But the newsflash to that is budgeting is supposed to guide you towards that. It's supposed to help you balance your funds out. A lot of times the people who do have the money, the reason they have the money is because they don't spend the money. So you just gotta keep that in mind. Even people like Diddy, Oprah, they have a budget that they set to.
If you've answered all these questions correctly, congratulations, you're a budgeting genius. If not, it's all right. In the words of Biggie, if you don't know, now you know.
When I grow up,
I want to be a billionaire.
Billionaire.
What if we were all billionaires?
that looks like legacy.
Investment.
Property.
That looks like me.
That looks like me.
That looks like me.
But there's a first step to this.
You've got to get debt free.
You gotta join the $1 billion challenge.
The $1 billion challenge.
Yes, today.
We'll be waiting. We're building billionaires.
Still need help on budgeting? Don't worry, we got you, in the words of Issa Rae. Here are some tips on how you can ball on a budget.
Couponing, food, clothes, electronics, furniture, services. There's coupons for it all. According to coupon.com, more than 55.7 million Americans are now using online coupons, representing 25% of the US population. There are millions more who use clip coupons from their Sunday pages. They grab them from the store shelves or use them from their mobile phone.
Here's an extra piece of advice for free. Bed Bath & Beyond coupons, they don't expire, and you can use them at Harmon's and Bye Bye Baby. You're welcome.
Groupon is our friend as well. If you're going on a date, need a little self-pampering, want to go have a good time, make sure you go to Groupon.com. Also, according to Statista.com, in 2017, Groupon had 49 million active users. So you're missing out, fam, if you don't go download that app right now.
Shop consignment and clearance. I mean, walking into Zara when they have like those massive sales is just like, thank you, sweet baby Jesus, for blessing my life on this day. It's just like something that, it does something to our minds when we walk in and we see, you know, the 25, 50, 75%. If I see 10% off, I might,
20.
I got an issue.
50. Basically, just stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. This should probably be number one. They do not love you or pay your bills at the end of the day. You don't need to go get a Gucci bag unless it's on a super sale. Don't buy that car that you know you can't afford. And please, please, please don't spend $1,000 on a weave if you don't have $1,000 for yourself after you done got your hair done. Be patient, grasshopper. Your time will come to shine.
Go to happy hour.
Happy hour.
I'm saying just get the drink and food specials. Don't just be up in there spending full price on stuff.
$2.
And if you gotta go to the club, you trying to, you know, if you must, make sure you eat and drink at home before you get there. Those dinner parties, you know, eat dinner first at home and then go and order a little appetizer or something like, I'm not really hungry today, y'all.
Also, grab a little side hustle on the side. You know, nowadays it's easy to grab something on the side. You could do Uber, you could be a nanny, you could contribute to a website, something. Whatever talent that you have, whether it be hidden or out in the open, make sure you use it to the best of your ability and make sure you use it for your benefit.
Y'all not gonna like this, but cancel all subscriptions. Dead 'em. I'm talking Netflix. iTunes. Tidal. Sorry. The gym. I mean, most of the time we don't even use these to their full capacity, so it's like, why am I even spending my money every month?
True.
I can vouch for that. And if you need to, you know, watch your sister Netflix, log into your boyfriend's Tidal, work out at home or outside, and call it a day.
That's it.
That's fine.
Also, do your own hair and nails every now and then. I know it sounds a little bizarre, but I myself, I like to indulge in a little pampering here and there, at least twice a month.
I don't know about that.
You know what I mean? But let's add up the prices to that, you know what I mean? You go get your nails done, it'll be about $35. 2 times a month, ladies, that's $70. Fellas, you know, you might take your lady to get the pedi, you know, that's $20 a visit. Do that twice a month, that's $40. So we already at like $110. Then the ladies getting their hair done, no less than $150 a month. Fellas, we getting the haircuts. We know they not cheap nowadays, so you go on YouTube and teach yourself how to cut hair for real.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Let's ball within our budget. Well, that's it for this episode of the Black Money series. Make sure you follow us on social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at mydfree. Also check out our next episode of the Black Money series, available on our YouTube page at mydfree every Tuesday.
Make sure you keep up with us. We're here to help you build and grow. Besides, what's better than one billionaire?
Building 2.
You know. Welcome to this episode of the Black Money series, bringing you everything millennial, everything dfree. Wait, what is that? All things millennial, all things lifestyle. Oh.
There are millions more using clip coupons than it. Run it back.
So again, I know that I have a love for shopping and I like to I like to buy stuff. So I have to be financially responsible about it. I'm not gonna go rack up credit cards just so I can buy a bunch of red bottoms and you know,
Preach,
bags
girl.
and all of this stuff. Like, I can still take, you know, I could, you know, take a lot less money than that and still put together an outfit that looks just as good as anybody else.
I was about to say hustle means just hustling. Hustling means just, you know, going after whatever it is you want, your goals, your aspirations by any means necessary. She got her own. That's what I think. Ain't that what Jimmy Fox said? Being a girl boss means just flourishing in yourself and your femininity. We do a lot. We create culture, we create trends, we create everything, really. Black girl magic is a black girl who knows her worth, who knows what she stands for. What is black girl magic? It's me.
Hi everyone, my name is Chloe Francina.
And I'm Nia Be Unstoppable, and welcome to this episode of the Black Money series, where we are bringing you all things lifestyle, all things millennial, and all things dfree.
Today, we're gonna sprinkle a little black girl magic and discuss what it's like to be a hashtag girl boss, a hustler, and give you different tips on how to work your mind, money, and magic. So what is black girl magic?
The phrase black girl magic was popularized in 2013 by Kashawn Thompson.
The concept was designed to celebrate the beauty, power, and resilience of black women.
With black women in mind, the phrase was created to counteract the negativity that society places against us.
And although this phrase technically started in 2013, we know black girl magic has been around since the beginning of time. Duh.
Now you know we are all about black girl magic here at dfree, but let's face it, everyone is not hip to the amazing things that our sisters have done. So let's look at the facts.
According to blackdemographics.com, black women represent about 71% of women in the workforce. However, they still have a higher unemployment rate compared to all women.
African American women, in comparison to all other groups of women, are more likely to work in lower paying occupations than higher ones.
So, where are black women working? I'll tell you. They're working service jobs like nursing, teaching, assisting, and clerks.
Black women working full-time earn 63 cents for every dollar in comparison to white non-Hispanic women. Put it like this, black women had to work 7 months into 2017 in order to make the same as what white men did in 2016.
Yikes. But here's some good news. Black women actually own 14% of all businesses in this country. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yes.
My name is Aaliyah Pierce. I am from Somerset, New Jersey. And a little bit about myself, I'm an author, writer, and spoken word artist. I was in undergrad at Rutgers University, and the only experience I really had with debt was college student loans. I didn't know what interest was, I didn't understand what forbearance was, so I literally was just looking at a dictionary and looking up these words and saying, what the heck is this? And then I realized that, like, I kind of need to get my life together. That was my come to Jesus moment. You're in your own little bubble, in your own little world, thinking that you're the only one going through this, and you're not alone. You're not.
So we've gone through the facts, just some of them, but there are a million other examples that we could use to show the representation, or lack thereof, of black women in society today. For example, the Wonder Woman phenomenon. That was such a great airplane movie, right? But I have a question. Where were all the women that looked like me?
I mean, Chloe, let's think about Serena Williams, one of the greatest tennis players to ever grace this earth. A powerhouse within herself, a wife, a mother, just a phenomenal woman overall. But we still remember the horrible comment of her being built like a man.
Women's equality and feminism. Now you know we're all for women's equality. All for it. But what people tend to forget is that women's equality should be inclusive of all women. Emphasis on all. That means women of color too, Although there has been a lot of progress, there are still a lot of things that we have to deal with. So how do we as Black women overcome these obstacles? Here's what you can do.
Find a mentor. There are tons of great mentors out there. Definitely be selective, but mentors are very helpful when it comes to advice, helping you to set goals, and just to get aligned with your career path.
Exactly. Create your own way. Why not make your own opportunities? Do what you love to do and do it well. Don't hold back.
And here's one that's very important. Speak your truth.
Yes.
Like Auntie Oprah said, speaking your truth is the most powerful tool that we all have.
Exactly. And get involved. Get involved in your community or get involved in an organization. Be the active change that you want to see.
Own your magic. Everyone on this earth has her own unique characteristic. So use it, grow it, and share it. It's yours.
And we wouldn't be us if we didn't shout out some of our favorite girl bosses and very inspirational women that we know.
Yes, so let's start off with one of our very own, Miss Tamika Stembridge, our executive director, also known as the Free Black Girl. Miss Charnel Anderson, marketing director for the dfree Global Foundation.
Michelle Joyce, the Rebel, my favorite, and former marketing director of Bad Boy Entertainment. Jessica Brown, the college girl.
Miss Miko Branch, CEO and founder of Miss Jessie's Hair Products. And Angela Yee, radio personality of The Breakfast Club.
So regardless of who you are or what you like to do, there's always room for magic. Black girl magic. Whether you're a teacher, a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, or whatever, you have the power to use your magic any and everywhere. And if you feel like you're being held back, find the opportunity, make your own way, push through, and don't forget, you have a family of beautiful Black women behind you willing to support you and uplift you.
Well, that's it for this episode of the Black Money series. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at mydfree. And be sure to follow us on YouTube at mydfree as well to view our episodes that come on every Tuesday.
And keep up with us. We're here to build and grow. Besides, what's better than building one billionaire? Building two. It never called you again.
Remember when he told you it was about the Benjamins?
I don't know that part.
Plus one.
Plus one. You giving up so easy, you ain't even fooling him. Martin's ready. Martin's ready. Talking out your neck, saying you a Christian, a Muslim, sleeping with the jinn. Now that was the sin that did Jezebel in.
Hundreds of jazz albums. He said, look on the second level at the green album and I want you to pull it out. So I'm looking, I only see one green album stuffed amidst all these. I pull out the green album. I open it up. Inside the album wasn't an album. It was $25,000 in cash, right? So I said, man, this is the most money I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, well, Paul, like, what is this? He said, you always gotta have something dumped off for a rainy day. So I was like, dang. So immediately, I understood the importance of saving. I understood the importance of not living above your means. And saying, oh, there's a difference between wants versus needs. Yeah. My grandpa put some of his wants to the side to make sure he took care of his family's needs. But he always had money, so he wasn't tripping when the cars broke down. He got 25 in cash. So me, since I've been young, I literally went home and I was listening to hip hop. So I wanted to be like my grandpa. So I had CDs, not big old albums like him. I had rap CDs. And I found a green one. It was C Murder, Bossalini. That was the name of it. And I'm from New Orleans. That's what I listened to. Yeah, so Lord forgive me. But and I had my first little job at a snowball stand. I don't think y'all have snowballs up north, but it's like an ice snow car. Okay, we call them snowballs, right? So I had a job at a snowball stand at like 13, 14 years old, and I would buy like what I needed, but in terms of my wants, I was like, dang, I don't need these things. So I would save money. And I remember at the end of that year, I looked inside that CD and I had $800 saved. as a 14-year-old. And that was a big deal to me, right? That was a big deal. So that just started me out feeling good. I felt good about that. And I said, dang, whenever you say you broke, that shouldn't mean that you're really broke, like you have no money left. You know what I mean? People who understand how to manage money, when they say they broke, they still got money. They still got money. But our people, when we say we broke, we be like, dog, I ain't got nothing. We broke nothing.
I got a friend who says she's broke, right?
Right.
She got 600 grand in the bank.
Say it one more time, Sean.
600 grand in the bank and thinks she's broke. She doesn't touch it though.
See, that's how we want y'all to start thinking. That's how we want y'all to start thinking. When you say you broke,
I said I'm broke.
Right. So that's what started me out as far as financial literacy tips and just understanding how to manage money.
Nice walk on the beach, some candles lit.
Honestly, like dinner and a movie.
Chill in the house. I'm basic.
It depends on what kind of mood I'm in.
In the beginning, we're definitely going out. We're not chilling.
Absolutely. You're looking at two examples, representations of the word, right?
It's getting a little hard. The pickings are a little slim.
No, in certain cases, no.
No, but if they let that that'll define that being the last time we go out, probably.
What up, y'all? It's JD. Today, we're gonna get into the topic of all topics, dating. What it means to date as a millennial, as well as some of the affordable tips on your dating life.
According to Cosmopolitan, men typically spend about $80 on a first date, and the average person spends $50 to $100 on a date night.
What about a gift card? Does a gift card count?
That's a coupon. That's a discount. Yeah.
Gift card, yeah.
I'll put out a gift card if it's there.
If I got a gift card, I'm gonna use it. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna slide it in the joint behind, you know what I'm saying, the cash.
Yeah.
Get it in that way. They ain't gotta know about it.
They probably should just put it in the little thing, especially if it's the first date.
According to Match.com, 58% of women don't even want an expensive date.
Probably a paint and sip. I don't know. I think, yeah, paint and sip. Yeah. I'm simple.
I ain't say that, girl. Like something a little more adventurous, like, I don't know, let's go go-karting or that Sky Zone thing.
Dating in large cities can be even more expensive when you factor in the cost of food, entertainment, transportation, and tipping.
We got some tips here to help you and your pockets survive dating. Budget. To determine how much to spend really on dating, you have to factor in your personal account and your finances. And spend what you feel is comfortable without going broke.
If the first date go good, but if you notice as you guys keep dating, like the prices on the menus keep going up, after a minute you gonna have to put your foot down and let them know, nah, I can't make it. Let's go on Tuesdays, like go to Joe's Crab Shack, $2 Tuesdays, something like that.
Use Groupon, Amazon deals, and Yelp deals. Couponing is not corny, and if your date think it is, you might have to rethink about dating that person. Or try free city tours. What's the best way to explore a city? So you might as well just do it with someone else.
I really like exploring cities. That's really cool, especially with somebody that you might be interested in and maybe like gonna get lunch or something.
Always free or pay as you go museums. You go check out the Metropolitan Museum of Art, or you go check out the African American Museum in DC. Have a game night. Invite some friends or other couples, or cook together. Let me give you guys some ideas. You make you guys tacos, or you could try a new dessert, or community service. You're not free unless you help someone else get free.
One time, I think I was in school, I
I was super broke. I mean, like, super broke. And I was, like, gonna order food. I guess I was gonna order food and, like, have it delivered. And I checked, like, y'all checked on my online account and everything like that, and literally had no money. So I had to call my roommate and ask him for, like, his, like, information, like, got it all. And then, cause it was, like, one of, like, the first, like, times I was hanging out with this girl. So I, like, had to have my roommate pay for it and I had to pay him back. So that was one awkward time.
Did she know?
No, she didn't know. But after the fact, I told her. But yeah, she didn't know at first.
Regardless of what your idea of dating is, it's always important to make sure that you are financially comfortable when you go out. It'll help. And if you really don't have the funds, be comfortable with yourself enough to explain your issue. Think of an alternative idea, or just reschedule to another time. Trust us, the world won't end if you have to reschedule. If you need some more ideas or money tips, make sure to follow us on social media at mydfree on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And check out our new episodes of the Black Money series available on our YouTube page at mydfree every Tuesday. Keep up with us. We're here to build and grow. Besides, what's better than building one billionaire? Building two.
I love speaking to kids. I can tell someone who was in my position, just being younger, being less experienced, that like, okay, these are the things that I did. This is how you can do it differently. It's how you can, feel better about yourself. This is how you don't have to overthink. This is how you should keep God in tow and you could be a vessel to other people. I'm learning to budget myself. Because obviously when you're young, you're frivolous and you do whatever. But I'm learning now, yes, to budget. Is this something that I need? Or is this just something that's like trendy? The way that I dress, it's kind of like my own style, but it didn't cost me any more than like $60, $50, But I don't let like social constructs confine me. I've had somebody tell me, like, I was, in the military, I was in the Middle East, this song helped me through that time. This song helped me through, a loved one going. So those moments, those are like the full circle moments of this is why I do it for real. The best advice would be to have fun with your craft. I think a lot of my perfectionism came from thinking too much about what other people are gonna think. Are people gonna accept it? Who's gonna like it? I think that's where a lot of it comes from, is worrying too much about perception. And like I said, with social media, that's all we're worrying about, because we want see who likes us. Who's this? Who's that? Like, that's a distraction. So go back to like the root of why you're doing what you're doing, and that's the love. If you love something, try your best to leave it at. Thank you for having me.
Doing your own thing and not worrying about what others really think about it.
Being creative to me is your ability to step outside the norm and venture into parts of yourself.
Someone who is just eager to do whatever they feel is necessary to get their art across. Probably look like one of those pieces of art that was like everywhere, like paint splattered everywhere and stuff like just happening.
It would probably be like an afro with like a lot of colors.
A statue, like a Shaq statue, like at the Staples Center, just raw, just me dunking something.
Hey, I'm Shauna.
And I'm Martin.
And welcome to this episode of the Black Money series, where we're bringing you all things lifestyle, all things millennial, and all things dfree.
We're going to talk to you about what it means to be a creative, challenging the stereotype of the starving artist, and how you can still pursue your dream and secure the bag.
So let's start. Are you in it for the love or for the hustle? Some people enter the art world for the love and passion behind it, but they're sometimes overlooked by those who are doing it for the hustle.
Let's find out if you're in it for the love or for the hustle. And if you consider yourself an artist, you should probably pay close attention.
Would you rather do what you love for a little bit of money or do what you hate for a lot of money?
I love doing what I love, but I also love money. So it depends on how much you love money. I love money a lot, so I'm willing to do things that I hate to make a lot of money. Would you rather work multiple part-time jobs so you still have time to create, or would you rather work a full-time job and not have time at all?
I'd rather work multiple part-time jobs because I can't deal with a lot of people like that anyway. Would you rather charge your friend for a large project or let them have it for free?
I would rather let them have it for free because it's my friend. But it depends on how large the project is. If it's real big, then I would feel the need to charge a little something, and they'll probably understand that. But I would rather do it for free because I like my friends.
Well, friends don't pay your bills.
You're right.
We get it. Sometimes people do it for the money. Sometimes people just love what they do. And sometimes you just need a little bit of both. But it's always important to remember that your art is yours at the end of the day. So regardless of what you're doing it for, always remember your craft is your priority.
Facts.
And speaking of facts, let's take a look at what it's like to be a creative in today's society. According to NBC, 41% of creatives save their coin compared to only 30% of those in finance.
The average salary of a creative is about $55,000 a year. Yeah, that's basically nothing, but you gotta pay the bills.
Trash. 41% of creatives have a retirement or an emergency fund, compared to only 30% of those in finance. Newsflash, it's okay to make money off of your art. Here are some tips on what you can do as an entrepreneur and secure the bag.
Freelance. My middle name is Freelance. You're good at what you do, you know it. So why not build your portfolio and use your work to make some extra coin?
Increase your hourly rate. We know this is a touchy topic, but if you're good at what you do, then those who support you will understand. Besides, you've got bills to pay.
Social media is your friend. It's a tool. Your creative skills can become a social media service. Companies are always looking to add a little extra flavor, a little extra sauce to their social media pages. You know what I'm saying?
Create some products and services. Trust us, people are always looking for those who can help with the look and design of digital ads, graphics, apps, videos, anything really.
Yeah, Shauna knows all about that. Teach your skill. People are always looking to learn something new. Teach a class, do a webinar, have a workshop, share your craft with the world.
Market yourself. Marketing is always necessary. And in this day and age, it's the best way to get your name out there. Consider using different tools that help market you and your craft to a larger audience.
Use your resources. Your family, your friends, your co-workers, your pets. People making money off their pets out here.
Oh, yeah,
they're all there to support you. Use them, network, spread the word. Use your circle to help you.
Ignore the 95% of people who tell you you can't do it or it's not realistic, or even ask, what's your backup plan? That's the surest way for you to fail. Instead, focus on what makes you happy and your passion. Focus on yourself, not them. These tips are definitely necessary, especially for me as an artist. As a freelancer, I have to keep this in the back of my mind and always remember that I can make money off of what I love to do at the end of the day.
Exactly. And if you're still wondering how you can do that, or if you need some inspiration on what to do, here are a few entrepreneurs who we think are taking over the creative game today. Joseph Wright.
Mel Thompson.
Des Martel.
Paola Duran. Brandon Braxton. Tim Jones.
Kalia Deborah.
Uchenna Acosta.
And these are just to name a few. There are so many others out there. You got to search through your Twitter and your Instagram. You'll see a bunch of people.
Right. The most important thing a designer should have is the power of imagination and visualization. That's something you should always remember.
Well, that's it for this episode of the Black Money series. Make sure to follow us on social media at mydfree on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can check out our other episodes of the Black Money series at mydfree on our YouTube page, and you can check out new episodes every Tuesday.
Keep up with us. We're here to build and grow. Besides, what's better than building one billionaire? Building two.
Opening line. She got the two easiest lines of the whole script.
I feel like I talk more than you in this. You ready? Read your thing again.
What?
Yeah, just read your cast too again.
Today we're going to talk about what it means to be a creative, challenging the stereotype.
Hi, I'm Kayla Cousins. I am International Marketing Manager at Capitol Records, and I'm here with dfree. Entrepreneurship to me means doing it your own way, being in control and not listening to the powers that be. You can choose what projects you want to work on. You can choose how you do it. You can choose your own strategy, and that's the best part of it. Biggest aha moment for me is when I realized that I can ask for what I want and it can come to me. A lot of times we fill our minds with fear and of being afraid of no, but no can't hurt you and you can just keep pushing from there. My guiding principle would be prayer and just knowing that I can go to God, He can comfort me. I know that I can go to God to empower me and just know that I'm not walking alone in whatever challenge I need to face.
An 8, a 9, 10, 12. If I'm looking on social media, I might see something and I'm like, oh, that's cute. When Beyonce had that big long ponytail, like Beauty and the Beast-ish, I definitely wanted that.
Spend a little bit of money.
Basic braids, basic twists. This, a hat. I will straighten my hair or curl it or something.
It's, my crown, so I want it to be looking royal and complimenting the rest of me.
Hi everyone, I'm Nia B. Unstoppable.
And I'm Brianna Lynn.
And welcome to this episode of the Black Money series, where we are bringing you all things lifestyle, all things millennial, and all things dfree.
Today we are here to talk to you about something that we all have, we change it often, and something that probably rules the world for many of us, especially for women, and that's hair.
So I'm sure many of you are wondering where this whole idea of hairstyling comes from. Hairstyling is actually a specialization in the field of cosmetology.
And cosmetology is the professional skill or practice of beautifying the face, hair, and skin.
Egyptians are known to be the first cosmetologists, and some of their hairstyling techniques would include dyeing hair with henna, shaving their heads with sharp rocks, and wearing wigs and hairpieces.
As we move a little further into history, specifically for the African American culture, one woman that we truly recognize in cosmetology is Madam C.J. Walker.
Yes.
Madam C.J. Walker was the first African American female millionaire. Yes, that's what I said. She was a millionaire. She was known for inventing the straightening comb and also her phenomenal hair products.
Well, business started booming so greatly for Madam C.J. Walker. She was able to hire other women as sales beauticians, whom she referred to as Walker agents. She actually still has a museum in Indianapolis called the Madam C.J. Walker Theater. If you guys are around, you should really check it out sometime.
That is so awesome. Not only because she was a beautician like myself, but she was a whole millionaire who made it possible for other women to have jobs.
That's right. Brianna, you are studying to be a cosmetologist. Do you have any cool tips for us?
Well, of course. So first off, most women love, love, love beauty. It brings them joy, confidence, and it makes them feel good about themselves.
So on average, how much do we spend on all of this?
Well, according to Refinery 29, Black women in particular spend an estimated $7.5 billion annually on beauty products, shelling out 80% more on cosmetics and twice as much on skincare as their non-Black counterparts.
So what about natural hair? How much, on average, how much does it cost to just get your natural hair done?
Well, I think it varies per shop, it varies for length, it varies for texture as well, but the average cost for me at the salon I go to is about $75 for a blowout. And then if I wanted to add color, I may be walking out with a total of about $125 or more.
Wow, that's sort of a lot, but I know one thing's for certain and two's for sure. The desire for most African American women to look good allows them to spend however much they need in order to achieve that goal. I mean, it all goes with the saying, when you look good, you feel good.
I am Jasmine Walden, Marketing Promotion Specialist at dfree. My life before dfree was a bit of a mess. I was throwing my money everywhere. I lived by the don't cheat yourself, treat yourself motto. So everything I wanted, I deserved. That's what I told myself. Automatically, I knew, okay, I have to think with a dfree mindset. So if you've ever been out, lunch, whatever, and your card has been declined, you know how embarrassing that is. It's the worst. So being dfree helps me avoid that problem altogether. I can live dfree and still have the things I want. No, I don't have to worry when I go out. I got it all under control.
So here are some tips on naturalistas. According to Black America Web, Black women who consider themselves naturalistas feel very positive about natural hair, yet Black women still feel that there's a social stigma associated with more textured hair and sometimes have anxieties while wearing it naturally in the workplace. But as for our millennial naturalistas, they adore natural hair more than we've probably ever seen in America's history.
Girl, cause we're woke.
Now stay woke.
Well, for me, I love my natural hair, but girl, sometimes I love me a good weave. Weave are also referred to as many women as extensions, and most women wear weave because they are protective hairstyles, they're quite convenient, they add length to your hair, and they can be addictive.
According to hairextensions.com, depending on length, packs of human hair weave can cost anywhere between $76 and $400. Therefore, women who get new weaves or touch-ups every 2 months can spend about $456 to $2,400 a year on hair itself. Now, dailymail.com reported that the average woman will drop $55,000 in a lifetime on hair products and treatments.
That's a lot.
This probably explains why becoming a beautician or a professional overall in the beauty industry has remained such a lucrative business.
Yes.
In an article with Galore, I read that hairstylist Ming Lee talked about starting her business with just $500 and it only took her 15 months to reach her first million.
Girl, I read that about Ming Lee too. And I mean, shout out to so many people in the hair industry doing such great things. I mean, we have Tierra Monet, Tokyo Styles, Kim Kimble, Crazy Hands, Ming Lee, Migo Branch herself, Hadia Barbell, and Alonzo Arnold. This is just to name a few. So Brianna, before we go, we know hair is a major priority for us. So can you share what is the biggest bang for your buck?
Well, I definitely think that investing in your hair is a must if you care about the way you present yourself. And there are ways, of course, to maintain a great look without going broke or in debt. But I ultimately think that you have to find what works for you.
The reality is we can't all afford to go to the hair salon every week or every 2 weeks. So if you are able to do hair, do it at home yourself or ask your good girlfriend or guy friend. But be sure to protect your hair with styles as far as hairstyling, extensions, cutting, things that require a professional. Well, that's it for this episode of the Black Money series. Make sure you follow us on social media at mydfree on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out our episodes of the Black Money series at mydfree on YouTube every Tuesday. Keep up with us. We're here to build and grow. Besides, what's better than building one billionaire? Building two. Thanks, you guys. Sing that. Add that in there.
Okay.
Add that in there, Brianna.
That's really neat.
Yeah, add that in there. Add that in there, bro. You never know. We ready to record?